In our number 10 spot, we have the table throwing demon. Okay, here's some crazy footage for you of a possible real life demon. I mean, heck, the Bible has warned us that demons are tricky and they play with us and influence us and make us feel fear. Well, that is seemingly exactly what happens in the video I'm about to show you. Here we have a woman who is sitting in what looks like a banquet hall, and she's on her cell phone when she hears a chair move. She turns around and sees nothing, but then the chair beside her moves and she freaks out and falls on the floor. Then a bunch of chairs and tables begin to move and you see her get so frightened that she tries to stand up and then she falls on the floor again. She could have fainted too, it's kind of unclear. The footage is so wild and it's so clear that this woman isn't an actress and that this isn't edited footage. It's too natural, and I mean, if she is, then man, she deserves an Oscar. If you're liking this video, don't forget to give it a like, as it will really help us out.
Number 9. New owners. So less than a year after the DeFeo attack, the house was listed at $80,000, which is absolutely insane. The property was massive and beautiful for that matter, despite the horrible history. Back in 1927, a young couple named John and Catherine Moynihan, they built this home, and their families lived there until 1965, and then they sold it to the DeFeos. Now, nothing paranormal had taken place before this. Nobody went insane overnight. It was just a home. To see the price of $80,000 for this house, the LUTZ family just couldn't say no. They of course got their new home cleansed as soon as they moved in. They had a priest come in and do his whole thing, but evidently it still wasn't enough. As soon as they moved in, the LUTZ family started to hear banging on the walls. Doors would start slamming all by themselves, and George started to hear voices, but I'll get into that a little bit later on. They even got more than they bargained for when they moved in price-wise, because they discovered a secret room. Number 8. The Red Room. No, not that red room, sickos. When the couple first moved in, they had building plans, right? They wanted to see every measurement, every angle, every room, every nook and cranny. That's the whole point of moving into a home. You kind of need to know, what it is. Especially after something that horrible happens. You're like, okay, can we look at the basement, please? They discovered a small red room when they got there, not listed on these plans. It was a 4-foot by 5-foot room hiding behind a shelf in the basement. It was painted blood red. It wasn't actual blood, but still, it's creepy. Harry refused to go near it. See, Harry was the family lab, and we all know dogs don't lie. Especially when they do that half bark thing too. That's always creepy. When they're like, buh, buh. Like, commit, bark or don't bark. Number 7. Green ooze. In the old Amityville movie, based on the book, there's a scene where the walls are bleeding. Check it out. Now, while this adds a horror element to the film, it's also even more messed up in real life. Well, maybe not more, but it's definitely still odd. Green ooze would apparently leak through these walls, and green ooze would drip through the keyhole of the playroom door. That was the final touch that made the LUTZ family decide to run for their lives. Without bringing anything with them, might I add. Yeah, if my house was trying to Nickelodeon slime me at 3 AM, I'd probably move out as well. When asked about the haunted ooze, both Kathy and George passed a lie detector test. They passed! We got ooze in the walls, Harry Potter's red room in the corner. What else? Number 6. Demonic pig. Okay, that's what else. I have to mention this one. It's the weirdest details of all that I could find with this house and all the events that happened. The demonic pig incident, of course. We're not sure if this really happened or not, but either way, it's kind of funny, kind of creepy. The same lawyer who represented Ronald DeFeo had met with the LUTZ family. They were looking to dive further into the demonic aspect of this whole case, so who better to talk to than the guy from the original family attack back in 1974, I guess. The lawyer came out and said that there was a cat that would often visit the LUTZ family, and it would bug the family through the window sometimes. The lawyer, Weber, told us the cat thing, but the LUTZ family claims that it was actually a demonic green-eyed pig that would terrorize them through these windows. Weber insists that this was all made up, but Daniel Lutz, who was 9 at the time of all of this, he said in a 2013 documentary that the demonic pig visits were very real. What do you guys think, demon pig or demon cat? Either way, both pretty silly. Number 5. Moving sale. So when the LUTZ family left the house and vowed to never return again right after what happened with the DeFeo family, that's one thing that's haunting in itself, but eventually the belongings have to be figured out. They have to be tossed or sold. And back in August 2010, they were sold. There was this massive yard sale, a moving sale rather, where they just got rid of everything. And by this time, there had now been 2 movies on the Amityville Horrors, so fans showed up. People showed up with like Ryan Reynolds t-shirts. There were hundreds lined up around the block for the chance to buy something from the Amityville house. house. There was even a sign that said no children, no cell phones, no cameras. Yeah, like it's a Lady Gaga concert. You have to like tuck your phone away. But the disturbing part here is that actual neighbors showed up. It was hard on them because they actually knew the DeFeo family. This was emotional for them. They haven't seen anything in the house for years. But now they have to wait behind 100 haunted house spooky fans. How disturbing is that? A violent attack on a family, and then some dude from Phoenix is like, I got the TV remote. Still works. Yes. Number 4, address change. Okay, back in 2017, the house sold again, this time for $605,000. A bit more bang for your buck. The famous 112 Ocean Avenue is now 108 Ocean Avenue, and they changed the number to hopefully deter tourists. Could you imagine ghost hunting teams just showing up out of the blue while you're in the middle of brunch? I get it, change the address, change the name, everything. The house has actually been owned by 4 different families since the attack back in the 70s. And the house honestly has never looked better than today. None of those other families reported any paranormal activity, and when you consider the fact that the LUTZ family was in a financial struggle, it doesn't seem too crazy to make up a paranormal story and then try and sell it to the world. Evidently, if that's the case, it worked. We're doing it. I'm doing it right now. It's my job to do this right now. Perhaps one of the darkest details recovered was from the LUTZ family lawyer. Number 3, many bottles of wine. When you hear about the demonic pig head or green ooze coming from the walls, you gotta think at one point, okay, this is obviously made up. This has to be a lie. I myself have never seen ooze coming from a keyhole, and the LUTZ former lawyer, William Weber, straight up came out and said that these hauntings were discussed and planned out and never happened. They were discussed over many bottles of wine. Yeah, that ought to do it. The same lawyer as Ronald DeFeo had to deal with this. What a life. In 1979, Weber told People magazine that he helped create these stories. He was involved, and that they all took real life incidents but gave them a haunting twist, like the cat and then the pig head, for instance. That's what many bottles of wine will do to you. Maybe the walls weren't covered in ooze or blood or anything. Maybe they were just covered in wine because they were all drunk, banging into the halls trying to plan out how they can be rich. Or maybe the entire thing was real. This next one should spark a conversation. Number 2, Daniel LUTZ. Daniel was just 9 years old when these hauntings took place. He was 9 when he and his family had to run away in the middle of the night. He's not going to forget that. That's going to be some trauma up here. He's recently told his side of the story in a documentary called My Amityville Horror. Now, the film's director, Eric Walter, says he believes something happened to these people, but we just don't know exactly what it was yet. He was contacted by a friend of Daniel's, and then come 2009, Walter and Daniel met. Daniel was now in his 40s, and he's not in the best shape when it comes to talking about the house still. He says he's been running away from this thing his entire life, and now finally it caught up. Also, Daniel's friend just totally outed him. I don't know who that is, but come on, man. He's like running away from a haunted house, and he's like, that's the guy, that's Daniel, get him. Daniel lives a quiet life now, but to this day he stands by the fact that that house was haunted, and he has nightmares of everything that happened still today. Number 1, occult ties. Okay, so we've heard some things that sound very real. The DeFeo lawyer, his side, the son of the LUTZ family who was trying to avoid being discovered all this time. It's fishy. It's all a little fishy. But one of the biggest clues as to what really happened in that house lies in George's bookshelf. The stepfather, George LUTZ, had a history with dabbling in the occult. And on top of that, he would often wake up every night at 3:15 a.m., the same time that those horrible events took place with the family prior. So many believe that George's interest in the paranormal is actually what led him to be possessed by these dark spirits. The same spirits that perhaps had something to do with the brutal history to the family beforehand, the DeFeos.
Coming in at number 10, we have a demon watching a baby. Hi there, demon. What are you doing watching this baby? You're a creep. An Imgur user posted this picture of a baby ultrasound, and it caused some waves on the internet. They posted the image with the caption, "A friend's ultrasound. When you see it, ... The image got 931 upvotes and was seen nearly 12,000 times. Can you guys see it? That's right, look in on the right. Maybe we can get a little bit of zoom here. Hello to you, womb demon. Womb demon, 2 words I didn't think I was gonna say today. This womb demon looks pretty breast-delicious, so we can only assume it's a lady demon. What she wants with this baby, we don't know. Other people are saying this image looks more like a Hindu goddess than a demon. One commenter wrote, "I'm seeing a friendly mermaid. Everyone else is seeing a demon. We're all weird." That's very, very true. We are crazy. What do you guys see? Demon, mermaid, Hindu goddess? Let me know.
In our number 9 spot, we have Satan. Well, duh, if there was going to be one demon on this list that we all know about, obviously it was going to be Satan himself. Satan was once a guardian cherub, but God found wickedness within him, or so is said in Ezekiel 28:12-15. Luke has also mentioned that Jesus saw Satan fall from heaven like a lightning bolt, and that is how he gained the name of fallen angel. Something that I didn't know until this video though is that apparently Satan does not rule over hell, but is punished and just imprisoned imprisoned with the other souls in hell? That's interesting. From my understanding, Satan is the king and creator of demons, and these demons have influence and infiltrate society and cause sadness and havoc. So basically, we're living amongst many demons these days. Everywhere you look, everything you hear or read, there's some kind of messaging that hits an emotional chord that makes you feel understood. But then you'll hear something else that is a conflicting perspective, and you also feel understood from that. And the result is that you're left confused, and you feel pulled in many directions, and you will feel vulnerable, and that's when it will be easy to control you. Beware of the influential demons like Satan. In our number 8 spot, we have the shapeshifters. Guys, I'm a little shocked that the Bible subtly points to shapeshifters. I guess I just assumed that this was a modern day conspiracy theory fueled by the Marvel movies, but no, there is evidence to suggest that shapeshifters have been around and spoken about since before the Bible. Mark said, after these things, he appeared in another form to 2 of them as they were walking into the country. He appeared in another form to 2 of them as they were walking into the country. That's it, they exist. I'm a believer. Also, what's the consensus? Should we just now conclude that Obama's security guard is indeed a shapeshifter? I feel like yes. Who's a believer? Let me know in the comment section below. In our number 7 spot, we have the chair moving demon. Okay, this could be just a ghost or a demon. I mean, who knows? In this clip, you see a girl in perhaps a classroom or a common area as there are computers and lounge chairs, and she seems to be looking at something when suddenly she runs out of the room. Then a few moments later, you see the lounge chair move and the door close. The ghost/demon is having a meeting, so he wanted his privacy, guys. The devil requires privacy. Okay, but seriously, what is this? How is this footage not more mainstream? I'm scared. I hope somebody called a priest after witnessing this footage. This place definitely needs to be cleansed. In fact, we should get the priests of the world to just cleanse the world. We may just need a general world cleansing because clearly the demons are among us, judging by this video. I'm scared. I want my mom. In our number 6 spot, we have the reptile people. Okay guys, we know that there are many references to reptiles in the Bible. I mean, if you don't, then I'm here to tell you that indeed there are. In fact, the Bible starts with Adam and Eve is persuaded by the snake to eat the forbidden fruit. So the stories really begin right away. But there have been evidence of people believing in the reptile people for many centuries, even dating back to ancient Mesopotamia, where they created an artifact called the Ubaid lizard man, which has made people believe that it is possible that they worshipped lizard people, the reptiles. In Revelation 12:9, it is said, quote, "And the great dragon was thrown down, that ancient serpent, who is called the devil and Satan, the deceiver of the whole world. He was thrown down to the earth, and his angels were thrown down with him." The serpent was thrown down to earth, eh? Sounds a lot like a reptile person confirmation to me. Now, whether or not they are demons, that is the question. There have been way too many reptile Hollywood sightings to count, so beware, folks. In our number 5 spot, we have the lawless one. In the Bible, 2 Thessalonians 2:9, I might have pronounced that wrong, sorry, it's been a while since I've been to church. Thessalonians 2:9, we are warned about the lawless one who is doing the work of Satan, aka a demon. The coming of the lawless one is by the activity of Satan with all power and false signs and wonders. Who exactly this message is referring to? I mean, it could be any number of people in history that promised wonders and things that they could not keep. Historical political leaders that may have tricked the masses. I mean, there have been many, from Genghis Khan to presidents in this day and age. So who's to say who this verse is speaking about, but perhaps at this point this benevolent demon has reincarnated many times over, considering the Bible stories are from thousands of years ago. In our number 4 spot, we have the man that couldn't speak. Demons are spoken about so much in the Bible, and on many accounts, stories are told where it is believed that people have come across these demons. Mark speaks about a demon that made someone's son unable to speak. This demon caused its victim to have epileptic-like seizures, in which he was at times thrown down to wallow on the ground and made to foam at the mouth. No one was able to get rid of this demon but Jesus, after saying to the spirit, "Deaf and dumb spirit, I command you, come out of him and enter him no more. This has led a lot of people over the thousands of years to believe that mental illness is really just demonic possession. Obviously, we know better now about what mental illness is, but you may be surprised to hear that there are still a lot of people that believe that multiple personality disorder is demonic possession. In our number 3 spot, we have the parking lot demon. Years ago, a news station in Serbia called Channel 4 reported the wildest story. Apparently, a woman was in a parking lot when suddenly something invisible started chasing her, and whatever it was jumped from one lamp post to the other. She was so frightened that she went to the police to report that a maniac was chasing her. The police took a look at the footage and couldn't believe what they saw. It looked to be a transparent human running back and forth. Some believe it to be someone from another universe glitching into ours, but the woman swears that it was chasing her, so some believe that it was a demon. It's so crazy to see, and I read that the Bible warned us about a spirit called Abaddon, whom is the leader of the demons, and honestly, this could very well be proof of one of the Abaddon demons, as this woman was definitely terrorized by something. In our number 2 spot, we have the demon Selfie. This is a picture of a demon and a boy, and it's crazy to see. This pic isn't even blurry, so that makes it more horrifying. Basically, a mom from Pennsylvania named Heather was taking a picture of her son. When she looked at the photo, she saw a mysterious person with black eyes creeping out from behind him. She said that there was no one in sight when she was taking her photo but her son. So that is ridiculously insane. This looks like a demon porcelain doll in my opinion. Oh my gosh, that is just the most terrifying. Imagine if she was home alone with her son. I truly hope not. I would never ever want to be home alone again if this happened to me. In our number 1 spot, we have the Brazilian Demon Man. Yo, this has to be the scariest thing I've ever seen. Okay, maybe not, but it is still terrifying to think that multiple people witnessed this. Okay, so in 2015, many reports were being filed about a strange demon-like wolf man in Brazil. It started popping up everywhere, and then someone managed to review street footage and got it captured in a still shot. Here we have a man who looks like he's part wolf or straight out of a Hollywood blockbuster, to be honest. He has long pointy ears and strange wolf-like legs and appears to have a small tail. The shot is blurry as it's night and pitch black, but if this isn't a demon, then I don't know what is. This is definitely one of the demons that the Bible warned us about. Hey Brazilians, beware.
Kicking off the list at number 10, demonic boy photo. That's a hot start. Doesn't matter where or when, but odds are you've probably seen this photo at some point in time. It's pretty haunting. You're not really gonna forget about it. Check it out. This photo was taken inside the Amityville house in 1976. It's a young boy with glowing white eyes. It was taken with automatic cameras equipped with infrared. A photographer named Gene Campbell took it, and Gene was working with paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren at this time. Yeah, the famous duo, now rocking the big screen Conjuring universe. They were on this case in real life, which is a fun little fact that not many know. This photo was revealed 3 years after it was taken on the Merv Griffin show, and many believe this is the ghost of John DeFeo, one of the boys who lived there prior during the 1974 attack. We're still trying to cover this today. What do you guys think? Elaborate hoax, or perhaps this photo is the only solid piece of evidence that the Amityville house is indeed haunted?
We have another one from social media at number 9. We have the Wisconsin trail camera demon. This image was posted on Reddit in December 2012 and got 1.1 thousand upvotes. The picture is allegedly a trail cam image from a trail in Wisconsin. For those of you that don't know that much about trail cameras, they're motion censored cameras that capture footage if an animal walks by. They're usually used by wildlife enthusiasts to pick up on close images of things like bears or moose or deer. Anyway, this trail cam picked up an entirely different animal. In fact, some people are saying it's not an animal at all. They're saying it's a demon. It definitely looks like a ghost, and I don't know, it's somewhat tormented. I don't fancy hanging out with this ghoul. It needs to stay far away from my campsite. Demon or witch at number 8, you decide. We have some police dashcam footage here. Now this video comes from the OOZE Police Department of Canyon City. Police officer Malik is driving down a nondescript Californian road at 3 AM when they come across a woman who has started a fire. There's no real explanation as to what is going on here. The woman stood in the middle of a fire circle and we can't see her face, which leaves you to believe she's either a witch or a demon. Basically, she's some combination of pure evil. Even if she isn't a demon, I bet she's summoning one. Coming in at number 7, we have El Chupacabra. Is it a wild dog? Is it a chupacabra? A chupacabra is a legendary creature in folklore, a blood-sucking animal vampire that we're gonna call a demon for the purpose of this video. The legend of El Chupacabra is most popular in Puerto Rico. It also has spread to northern Mexico and the southern states of the United States, especially Texas. This demon was caught on police dashcam and the officer involved in the incident was totally vexed. The footage was taken in 2008 and has caused a debate ever since. Now the video description reads, a police dashboard camera catches what some people might think is proof of the legendary chupacabra. Is it proof that he lives and roams in the fields of the Lone Star State? I don't know. Now this animal was seen running down a dirt path along fence lines in a rural Texas road. Honestly, to me, it does look like just kind of a wild dog, maybe a coyote, more so than it does a demon, but some people are refusing to budge on it being El Chupacabra. Coming in at number 6, we have the Balinese flame demon. In 2016, Bali experienced some very dry weather that led to a number of fires. Following a fire at Padang Beach and at the Pasar Badang Market, the oldest market in Bali, another devastating fire hit Canggu. An image of the local 5 surf school in Batu Bolong was shared on social media. While luckily nobody was hurt in the fire, some eagle-eyed social media users saw something very unsettling in the flames. One of the commenters pointed out that the shape of the flames looked like Ugu, a demon statue that are used for festivals in Neopi. In Balinese culture, these statues represent spiritual pollutants emitted from the activities of human beings. And these statues are used in a parade and then burnt at the end as a process of purification. There is a really strange and sad irony in the face of a demon that represents human malice appearing in a fire, especially when these demon effigies are usually burned to rid Bali of evil. Coming in at number 5, we have a genie. This picture is from an Islamic website that documents supernatural occurrences and discusses early Arabian and Islamic mythology. This is reportedly a jinn, a ghost or a genie, that lives in the Hira cave. The creature was only seen after the photo was developed. Now, according to some sources, some Islamic news publications went wild for the picture, saying bad luck befell the photographer. Some even said that he dropped dead. In Islamic faith, magic is prohibited and considered an evil perversion of Allah. What is this genie demon doing in a cave? We just don't know. Is this a Dementor at number 4? You let me know. I love Harry Potter so much. I even have my own Harry Potter YouTube channel. I'm a Slytherin for those wondering. And whilst I may be a darker witch, I'm still not on board with a Dementor. Would we call a Dementor a demon? Yeah, I think we would. It's a demon that sucks out your soul, which is actually probably my least favorite kind. Either way, it seems a demonic-looking figure is spotted over the city of Kitwe in Zimbabwe, and to me, it looks like a descending Dementor looking for a kiss. The mysterious cloud formation looked to be about 100 meters long and loomed over a shopping center in the city for around 30 minutes. Eyewitnesses said some started worshipping the mist, thinking it was a manifestation of God, while others ran away. I think I would crack out my Patronus and hope for the best. Can you guess what mine is? Let me know in the comments section down below. Coming into number 3, we have the Phoenix New Year Nightmare. On New Year's Day of 2017, Facebook user Richard Christensen spotted a demon lurking in his Arizona hood. He shared the pictures to the social media site with the caption, "What the hell do you see in this picture for reals? Anybody?" The image quickly went viral, garnering over 100,000 shares. The picture appears to show a winged demon, perhaps a Mothman, standing in a residential street. Some people were brandishing it a soldier of Satan. Either way, national news publications picked up on the story and people were pretty freaked out. Some people say it's just a palm tree, others are convinced it's a demonic presence lurking in the southern states of the USA. Coming into number 2, we have 9/11 smoke demons. While we're led to believe that the world can change irrevocably at something so small as the flicker of butterfly wings, there are days in the history books where we can pinpoint events that change the course of humanity forever. One of those days is September the 11th, 2001, or 9/11. On this day, 2 hijacked planes flew into the World Trade Center Twin Towers, another into the Pentagon, and another crashed into a field. Nearing 3,000 people lost their lives, and thousands, if not millions more, had the course of their future altered. The worst terror attack on US soil was undoubtedly an act of evil, but some people even say they saw the face of evil in the smoke that billowed from the devastating fires that took down the buildings in Manhattan. Look for yourself. Did the many cameras pointing at the World Trade Center capture a demon? Is it the face of the devil himself? Let me know what you think. Okay, I've picked number 1 because actually it is so dramatic and caused some serious waves during its day. This was a televised event. Coming in to number 1, we have ABC's 2020 exorcism. This one is so much to deal with. In April 1991, 29 million people tuned in to ABC's 2020, a controversial episode hosted by Barbara Walters that asked if demons were real. What made headlines about this episode was that it televised a real-life exorcism. In the episode, we see Catholic priest Father LaBear exorcise demons from a young girl named Gina. Honestly, she's off the charts in this video. She is screaming, she is being cray, she thinks she's actually possessed. The girl seems to switch wildly between different personalities. Her voice is strained and demonic, and the clergyman identifies 2 demons within her, Minga and Zion. Her parents surround her and pray for her recovery. Now, before she's exorcised, she drinks holy water and vomits. This is just very shocking viewing for the 90s. The exorcism spanned 6 hours, and afterwards Father LaBear believed that he cured her of a serious demonic oppression. Others think that she was just mentally ill, and to be honest, I don't know if she was. This was some serious schizophrenia. Either way, following the exorcism, she seemed to be cured.